Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's Sunday fun day. Not much going on. We are playing board games again. So right now we're playing Settlers of Catan. No, it's just called Catan.
It is Settlers of Catan.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, it's just the new version.
I'll show you the board, or the thing. That's it. It's basically like a strategy building game. We just went through the first initial round, kind of learning the rules and understanding the rules. I think we've got it, so we're gonna play a second time. Allie's right outside playing in her water slide, and that's it. Sundays are kind of no electronic days for us. I mean, aside from the camera, I guess.
And you're working.
And more or less for the kids, just to kind of detach them from the electronic world. That's just something we've done for, what, like a couple months now, right? No, longer than that, since school started. They're not big fans of it because it means like no TV and stuff like that, but it works. It lets them come back into the real world for a little while. Other than that, Chris and I were watching some more of Black Mirror last night. I think we're into...
Still haven't gotten into that one.
We're into like season 3. It's okay so far.
The last one was bad.
I don't know. Yeah, they're weird episodes. I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to make you think about pretty much the world we're living in now. But some of them are just a little overly predictable in how they're going to end. For me anyways, so maybe that's why I don't really care for it so far. Also, it's weird because Netflix, like, normally you'd start in season 1 and it would just go all the way through the rest of the seasons, and for some reason it's backwards. Like, season 4 is at the top and it goes down to season 1. So, like, we started season 1 and then watched the first episode of season 4 without realizing it was season 4, and then last night we finished season 2 and it kicked us into season 1 all over again, so we had to go back up. It's not that big a deal, but it's just kind of weird that Netflix does it that way. But on that, like I said, we're playing Settlers of Catan and kind of having fun. So, show you the board real quick. So, that's what it looks like. They're shuffling the tiles. Basically,
well, I mean,
number
kind of putting them where he wants.
Number tokens will go on all the tiles, and you place settlements around the corners of the tiles, and when the dice is rolled, if the number on the tile matches your dice, you get those particular resources, and then you need to collect these resources to build each of these things. First person to 10 points wins. So I am white, Kristen's orange this turn, Jordan's blue, but that's where we're at for today. So we finished Settlers of Catan and we're moved on to Frog Juice. They did play a little game of Moose in the House. Or There's a Moose in the House. It's a pretty fun card game. It's really quick to play. Frog Juice is pretty fun to play. It's pretty quick too. You're basically collecting spell components and spells. So like, I picked up this spell, the Uglifying spell, and then I've got to collect the ingredients, so I need mice to finish it off. And then basically you've got cards with the letter P. They're worth 1 point each, and then whoever has the most ingredients collected at the end gets 2 extra points, I think.
Yeah.
So playing Frog Juice. All right, so we're moving on to Star Realms. It's a deck building game. It's pretty complicated. It's one of those I'd have to do like an entire video on just how to play the game and get the setup going. But card mat's out, and we're gonna play some Space Battle, which is pretty much what Star Realms is. It's Jordan's favorite game.
Space Wars.
Space Wars.
You each get 8 of these and 2 Vipers.
All right, so we're done playing games. Kind of hung out for a little bit. If you like barbecue, like pulled pork and things like that, but you don't want to invest in like a smoker or a grill or anything, or you just don't have the space, I'm going to show you a little trick that I use when I'm kind of in the mood for barbecue, but I don't want to fire up the smoker or the grill or anything like that. I put it in the oven. So when Dixie in Florida right now, I'm sure all the other states have it too, right now have Boston butts on for 99¢ a pound. So you get 2 Boston butts for the price, I think I paid $16 for 2 and then $17 for 2. And then what I had them do was cut the Boston butts vertically, so I ended up with 8 that can go in the freezer. I can use them whenever we have company over. I can pull them out and throw them on the grill or whatever and cook them. But what I do when I don't want to fire up the smoker and stuff is I put them in the oven as low as I can get it to go. So my oven, the lowest it'll go is 170 degrees. Well, pork, medium well to well done, is about 165 to 170. So what I'll do is throw it in the oven at 175, I think that's as low as mine goes, 175, and I let it go for about 4 hours. Yeah, I let it go 4 hours, and what that does is it heats up the outside, and it kind of forms a bark around it. Not a thick bark, not something you would get like if you smoked it, but comparable knowing that you're doing it in the oven, it's pretty decent. And then after 4 hours, I crank it up to 200 and I let it run usually overnight. So this one ran from about 10 p.m. last night to about 7 a.m. this morning. And then I pulled it out, wrapped it in aluminum foil, and I let it sit. I put it in the microwave so that it stayed warm, and it sat all day, basically letting it rest and all the juices flow back in. Then I took all the drippings out of the pan, I drained the grease off of them and pulled the rest of the drippings out, threw it in a pot with a little bit of ketchup and mustard, some balsamic vinegar sauce, and just a little bit of pinch of like chili flakes. Stirred that up and got it real hot and melted together and made a barbecue sauce out of it. Now, what I did to the outside before I put it in the oven is, usually on your Boston butt there's a fat cap on the top, so I basically cut all the way through the fat cap just to the edge of the meat, and then I do it horizontal and I do it vertical, and what that'll do is it gives you little cubes of the fat. So then you take your seasonings, whatever you're going to use, and you completely rub down the entire outside of the pork butt with your seasoning. Make sure you get in between the little slices that you made, and then it cooks. And what will happen is where you cube that fat is it'll crisp up, and some people like that, some people eat that. I usually cut ours off after it's done and throw it away, or use it for something else, like in like a stock or something. Now, my seasoning on the outside this particular time, and I always use brown sugar no matter what I pair it with, because brown sugar kind of caramelizes, and that's what gives me the drippings to make the barbecue sauce. So I use salt. I have a pepper chili combination. I use salt, some of this, it's called Hot Shot, and it is basically red peppers, like a chili pepper with regular black pepper. I use that on the outside, and some paprika, and then like I said, I also used brown sugar. Not a lot, just enough to coat the entire outside. And then when I set it in a shallow dish, I sprinkle a little bit more brown sugar over top of where the fat cap is, because you want to cook it fat cap up. And like I said, 4 hours at 170 kind of helps cook the outside, kind of lock everything in. And then I crank it up to 200 and let it run for a good 10 to 12 hours. You're looking for an internal temperature of about 165, 170, somewhere between there. Some of the areas, because mine had a bone in it, hit like 180, but it didn't dry the meat out at all. So I've already cut it up. We're getting ready for dinner. I'm going to show you what it looks like. So I've just cut it in like little slabs of pork. This is the dish I cooked it in, so it's a shallow dish. And then that's a homemade sauce. Like I said, it's the drippings off the pork minus the fat. So it's basically where the brown sugar kind of caramelizes with the salt and the peppers and stuff, with ketchup, mustard, balsamic vinegar, and then a little bit more of that hot shot stuff I showed you. And I mean, it comes out just as tender, it's just as nice. Let me find a fork. So you see, it's It's not going to be like pulled tender like you would get pulled pork, but you can see it's still pretty tender, and it tears apart with a fork. You can cut it with a fork, you know. So that's what it looks like. The sauce is it's like a sweet, spicy sauce if you like that. But yeah, so that's just, if I'm kind of in the mood for barbecue, but I don't want to fire up the grill, or I don't have time to fire up the grill, this is a quick and simple way. Just want to share it in case you guys wanted to do something similar. And it gives you barbecue, you know. And there's some people like barbecue, they just don't have time to cook it, because barbecue is something that takes a lot of time. So that's it. It's really simple, really easy, and as the chef, I get the first bite. Your teeth just kind of sink right through it. All right, so I took way too big of a bite. It's good. It's really tender. It's really delicious. The thing about barbecue is low and slow. And you can do it in your oven. There are ways to create that smoke flavor in your oven. You can either buy liquid smoke and kind of add it to your seasoning. I know they make like wood chips and stuff you can put in your oven. I'm not gonna smoke up the house to do it. If I want actual smoke, I'll take it outside. But I know for some people the smoke's that's what they're looking for in barbecue. I'm gonna pair ours with a curry coleslaw that I made homemade. And it's like a mayonnaise base, French fries. Kristen made Brussels sprouts. She roasted those off in the oven. There's the curry coleslaw. There's French fries in the oven with garlic toast, because if you're gonna barbecue, you need some garlic toast. That's it though. I just wanted to show you this. We're gonna finish hanging out for the rest of the evening. We're gonna eat dinner and just chill, relax, watch movies, edit videos, all that other fun stuff. Hope you guys enjoyed this. We love you. Until tomorrow.